AITA for talking about when I was pregnant, even though I don't have children? Long story short, I can't carry to term. Any time I was pregnant resulted in a miscarriage, sudden loss. And one time it was at 24 weeks. I'm okay with this. I'm not as maternal as I thought I would be. And am happy to be child-free. Even if it was not by choice. I understand these are the cards I was dealt. As such, I keep mainly to myself. When we were working outside of home, 3 women in my office became pregnant. I was more than happy to celebrate with them, etc., well into their late terms. And celebrate when they had their kids too with gifts. During these times we'd talk about pregnancy cravings, etc. I'd talk about mine. And we'd laugh about it. Only one person in the office knew about my situation. Now that way work from home we communicate basically through text. Another is pregnant. And we started talking about it all again. The one person who knows my situation in my office messaged me privately telling me to stop talking about when I was pregnant. Because I'm not a mother, and since I won't be, I shouldn't contribute. Not gonna lie. Truth kinda hurt, but I understood why she said that. However, now I feel like the for ever talking about it. And maybe she's right. NTA. You weren't contributing your experience with motherhood. You were talking about pregnancy. # you've been pregnant. NTA. Wow. That comment to you was brutal. Like I had to check your profile to see if you were obviously trolling brutal. Your coworker is an asshole. This seems like a relationship severing statement for them to make. This might also be the sort of thing that might be worth recording and bring up with HR, your boss. NTA. You were pregnant before, and I don't think that just because you miscarried, your experiences are invalidated. She's the to tell you that. NTA. What do you mean you understand why she said that? Her comment was just cruel and not okay. You experienced pregnancy and have the right to talk about it. You're discussing pregnancy, not parenthood. What if you weren't emotionally okay with your situation and talking about it with people was helping you? Somehow? Her comment is gross. NTA. Unless you're saying things like, when I was at your stage, before I lost my baby. Only because that specific turn of phrase would freak a pregnant woman out about miscarrying. If your conversations don't typically turn awkward, there's no reason for you to pretend you've never been pregnant. NTA. You were pregnant. I'm sorry that you can't carry to term. You shouldn't miss out on other people's joy if that makes you happy. NTA. But the person who anointed herself the pregnancy experience gatekeeper certainly is. NTA. The coworker messaged you as a massive asshole just because your baby is not in your arms does not make you any less of a mother. Sorry if this is over dramatic, but I feel like the coworker who privately told you you couldn't talk about your very real pregnancies BC. You're not a mother, should be terminated from that job. Or reprimanded in some serious way. However you may feel about the situation is up to you. But nobody in a work setting has any right to say those things to you. That's completely over the line. NTA. NTA. Your coworker is just cold and unfeeling. May she never have to go through the pain of multiple miscarriages as you did. If this affects your work or work relations, I'd save those PMs and submit them, just in case, to your HR department. Even if they don't do anything, they still have something on file. NTA. I've been pregnant 6 times and have never been able to carry to term. I'm an old hand at the first trimester. If someone told me I shouldn't contribute to discussions regarding pregnancy, I would absolutely lose my shit on them. Tell her to eat rocks. NTA, you were pregnant. Therefore, you are allowed to talk about your experiences if you are comfortable doing so. Your coworker can STF you. NTA, if you ain't comfortable sharing, do it. More power to you, since it seems very healthy. And you shared the experience too. You're a strong-ass woman. NTA. Never ever ever ta. You were pregnant. You have experienced pregnancy. I'm so sorry that you were unable to carry to term, and I can't even comprehend your strength. This person needs to keep their opinions to themselves. End of. When someone is pregnant, ill, struggling, or just experiencing something new, it helps massively to be able to talk about it. It can just be being heard or hearing other people's experiences to know you aren't alone. I just don't understand the logic behind the comments made to you. You'd never tell someone not to talk about their driving tests just because they didn't pass. Or tell someone who survived cancer not to talk about it because they beat it. You were pregnant. You experienced it, and your advice and support could really help someone. NTA. What a hurtful thing for that coworker to say. As if your experiences with pregnancy don't count because they had sad endings. She just doesn't want to be reminded of those possible outcomes. And in doing so, prefers to pretend that you were never in the same position as these happy mothers-to-be. You can decide for yourself which parts of the conversations to share in and which to stay silent about. Miscarriage is not contagious. And people can talk about pregnancy without being mothers. You're not being an inappropriate downer with the types of things you're sharing. So don't let her tell you that you can't belong to the club. NTA. She's totally wrong. Telling you that, and the justification sound like something someone would come up if they were intentionally trying to be cruel. Is she liked around your office, or is she the person everyone can't stand? NTA. She's completely wrong and ridiculous. You may not be a mother, but you were pregnant. That is your experience and is yours to talk about. There's no reason for you not to join in with shared experiences. Whether or not you decide to become a mother has nothing to do with your being pregnant previously. I would politely tell her to go kick rocks, and that you are free to talk about your life and your experience anytime you want. Being pregnant doesn't always end up with being a mother and does not erase what happened to you. NTA. These are your experiences and you have a right to talk about them. It's not like you were talking about something you never experienced. The person who texted you was being a jerk and was out of like with what they said. Hey op. I just wanted to say I'm so sorry for your losses. My first baby was born and died around 24 weeks. I understand what you are going through. You are a mother. You will never stop being one. You have every right to bring up your experiences. What should you be doing? Burying it and pretending it never happened? How healthy, pregnancy and infant loss is a taboo, I know. It makes people uncomfortable to acknowledge it. But it pales in comparison to the discomfort our grief brings us. If we can endure it for a lifetime, so can they for a few minutes. NTA. In no way are you the asshole. You have every right to talk about your experience as a pregnant woman. Your coworker can shove it.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.